people, welcome to Party of IV. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, thanks for coming back. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button. This video, I'm gonna just jump right in. It's about Leon's, or my 18-month-old's surgery. Why did she have surgery? I guess we can start, to make the long story short, we'll start with when she was 10 months. Well, actually, you know, every baby is born panting. They don't have like a steady breathing pattern. Well, and then after a while, they kind of grow out of it and develop a steady breathing pattern. Well, Leon's did not. Her pattern kind of didn't become steady, I guess you can call it. Anyway, I noticed it around 10 months. I noticed that she would stop breathing. And I thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, is she stopped breathing? You know, and I tried to do the whole, like the CPR thing, look, listen and feel. And when she would stop for those seconds, I looked, you know, noticed that, okay, her chest is not going up and down. I listened for the air, and I also, you know, felt her, and she literally would stop for 10 seconds. So I mentioned it to her doctor, and her doctor was like, hey, let's do this, and this. And I was like, you know what? Because I did tell Freddie about it, and he was like, I don't see it. She snores super loud. But he's like, I don't see her not breathing. So I knew, because with Tristan, I panicked so much that I was like, let me watch this. Okay. I told the doctor, I said, hey, how about I watch this and I let you know for sure, you know. I told her that I did put her in the bed with me. Doctor was like, hey, no, don't do that. Put her back in her bed. But because I wasn't comfortable that she was in her room, and I knew, or at least I felt like at the time that it seemed like she stopped breathing, I was like, I'll lay on the floor if I have to, and you know, and listen to her. And I did that a few times, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, she's not breathing. This is not normal. This is not normal. So we went back to her appointment. We set up another appointment and went back, and I told the doctor, I was like, hey, yeah, she's not breathing. The doctor, love her, you know, I love their doctor. She's like, you know what, you're gonna go see an ears, nose, and throat doctor ASAP, and from there they may do. She said, no, I go back. She said she did notice that one of the right side of her tonsils seemed a little swollen. She said, but she didn't think that would be the reason that it would stop her from breathing. So she said, let's go see an ears, nose, and throat doctor, and they may even have to do like a sleep study on her. COVID happened, and she ended up getting COVID. So it was like, okay, of course they don't want her in the office while she has COVID. So we had to wait for that whole, okay, she's done with her 10 days. Then we had to do an extra 14 days. And before we knew it, it was after January something. I can't remember. But finally, they did call, because I told them, hey, she stops breathing. Like, this is serious. She's 18 months. Well, she was, 17 months at the time. I was like, she's 17 months. Like, this freaks me out, you know? So soon as she was released and I was released, we went and saw the ears, nose, and throat doctor. And I did my study. I told my doctor, or her doctor, I want the best. Don't just send me to some old specialist or whatever. Please send me to somebody that you would send your kids to. And she was like, no, you know, this is who I would send you to. This is who my kids went to. And so I did my studies on him, and seemed like pretty good reviews on him. So anyway, we went, and he was like, first thing first, because she's young, like, we're not going to do the whole consultation first, and then y'all come back, and then he was like, let's just go right ahead and figure out what's going on with her. So they took a camera, little skinny wiry camera, like a piece of hair, stuck it down her nose. I had to hold her down, and when they stuck it down her nose, he was like, if you look, her right side of her tonsil is swollen. It's like medium size. The left is good, so she has enough space there. But in the back of her nose, where her adenoids are, those were 80% swollen. Like, it was swollen. I'll try to insert a picture here or here. Maybe here, since there's a nice amount of room here. But he's like, that's swollen, and this is what we can do. So they kind of laid out everything that they can possibly do for her. Now, because she's a baby, and it's just her stop breathing for a certain amount of time. After a certain, I think they said like 20 seconds of not breathing, that could be very fatal and all that stuff. I was like, I don't have time to figure that out. If surgery is the best option, surgery is the route that we're going to go. And I can have a peace of mind knowing that my child is sleeping at night, you know, without, how long is she not sleeping? Like, I fall asleep too. So that was not a choice at all for me. It was an automatic, yes, we're going to do it. I did tell him, you know, I am going to go back home and speak to my husband unless he objects. You know, we're going to go through with the surgery. Of course, Fred heard it and he's like, what? This is real. Like, okay, yeah, do the surgery. Like, please, whatever's going to fix our daughter. So going into surgery, the doctor did tell us, like, he will walk us through everything the day of surgery. He's like, I will make sure that I'm there through it all. Now, when we went to the hospital, they finally called us and scheduled a date, because I was like, I need it as soon as possible. When they did set up a date, when we went up there, the only thing I didn't like, and really, honestly, it's not them, it's COVID. My husband couldn't come with us. Freddie couldn't come. And because Freddie couldn't come, it was kind of like, oh, for me, it's just me and her. She's going to be in surgery and I'm going to be in there like, whoa. I was okay. Surgery. Like, I did my research. I was totally okay with it. Like, I was at peace with it because I knew that she will be able to breathe. Like, that was my biggest issue. And the fact that she'll be able to breathe, I was at peace with that. What made me nervous or whatever is, I guess it's more of myself. My thought process is when I'll be sitting in the waiting room and my brain starts talking to me, like, I won't have someone there to say, hey, she's doing okay, or hey, you know, she's got this, or whatever. And that was like the hardest part for me. It was that. But sorry, she's taking a nap. So, but when we went into surgery, when we went in, well, she had to do a COVID test again, you know, which came back negative. And when we went to the hospital, we had already ahead of time under our chart on the internet, signed in and did all of our paperwork and everything. So, and because they're affiliated with her doctor, everything, all that process was very easy. There was no papers to fill out at the hospital. So walking in at the bottom floor, first floor, whatever, they signed us in. When we went upstairs, there was a nurse already waiting for us. Hey, okay, Miss Bossy, once we signed, you know, we went to the 4th floor. We went to the front desk. They got us, took us to a room, and the nurse said, they're taking us back there instead of the waiting room because she's so little, you know, they want you and her to get comfortable in that whole situation. I loved that we didn't have to wait in the waiting room. And then the nurse, as they were, you know, taking her vitals and all these different things, the doctor came in, which I was like, wow, when he said he was going to walk us through everything, he literally meant he's going to walk us through everything. Because he sat in that room until they prepped her. We changed clothes. You know, he walked out, but when she changed her clothes, he came back in. When the anesthesiologist came in to, you know, let us know what he's going to give her, and when she was going to get her medication, all of that, the doctor stayed in. He talked to us as they did. He made sure, like, okay, did you understand everything he said? Okay, cool. You looked a little confused there. Did you get it? If not, can you explain that again to her? Like, he sat there the whole time, and I loved it. Completely loved it. Like, I've never seen a doctor. I've been through surgery. Tristan has, and I've never seen a doctor literally sit there. And he said he does that with his younger patients like her, is so that they can really just get that bond with him and just be comfortable. Now, they didn't put her under with me, but they did give her some medicine where she just became like really loopy and very just like not there. And once she kind of was like, then they said, hey, Mom, you go ahead, they're going to take you to a different room. So they wheeled her away. And I think that's when I was kind of like, oh gosh, they're wheeling my baby away. They wheeled her away. I went to go check in again to the front desk and let them know that I'm ready to go to the other room. And the guy told me, hey, can you sit down? Let me get you started. And about time I sat down, he came back. He said, hey, they're ready for you in your room. Just want to let you know the doctor said they're prepping her. They're basically getting started with the surgery. And I'm like, wow, that's quick. Okay. He did tell me it's a 2-minute surgery, but I was like, he said 10-minute surgery. I was like, wow, that's quick. Okay. So then I sat down. I text Freddie. I text my mom. I text, Freddie's mom and them just to let them know, hey, surgery is starting. And once surgery is starting, I don't even know if like 5 minutes passed. It seemed like 5 minutes didn't even pass. Like, I didn't even get time to sit down and put my earplugs in so I can watch a little YouTube or whatever. And the doctor came out. And I was like, I didn't even get to go to my room. And he's like, oh yeah, surgery went well. I mean, I just went in there, snip, snap. It was actually 95% swollen at that point. He went from 80 to 95. He was like, so she was really closed up back there. He said also her tonsils, we noticed that the left side is swollen. He said, but it's a surgery that I don't want to put her through right now. Let's see if those tonsils, because some kids, as they get older, the tonsils do go back to normal size. So I was like, okay, cool. As long as surgery went well, I'm great. And that 95% adenoids were removed. Beautiful. So he walked me back to the recovery room. They rolled her in, and we had to wait about 30 minutes before they woke her up, because they said, they wanted to just make sure, whatever reason, I can't remember. Because she's gonna be real irritated when she wakes up. Number one, she'll try to pull all these things out, and I forgot the other reason, honestly, y'all. But so they waited about 30 minutes to wake her up, and I text everybody like, hey, surgery's done. Everybody's like, wow, that was quick. I'm like, I know, right? So yeah, so surgery was literally 10, when they say 10 minutes was for me to sit down, it felt like. But everything went well. When they woke her up, yes, she was very agitated and very just irritated and just, she was like ready to fight me, which is really weird because she doesn't do that, but she was ready to fight me, and I was just like, I don't care, like my baby's good. So it took they told me it's a week recovery, and it was. They said, the back of her nose, you're going to smell a very foul smell like death that's going to be coming out of her. That's all normal. It smelled horrible. It was a few times that I'm like, oh, jeez. I know Tristan and Levi was like, Mommy, why does she smell like that? Like every time she spoke or coughed or whatever. But it only lasted like 2 days, and then after that it was gone, and she has been breathing beautifully. The snoring has stopped. She snores every so often, but it's not as loud, and I think that's because of the tonsils being swollen. They said, they're going to give it about 6 months, and if it doesn't go down, then they may think about surgery for the tonsils, which the length of that one is a little longer, but they will see, because hopefully it will shrink. We don't know. So that's where she's at as far as with the tonsils. But with those adenoids, y'all, the girl has not stopped breathing. Like, she breathes normal now, and I'm able to get the rest that I need. I am very satisfied there. I was very satisfied with just the whole entire process. Like I said, I was not nervous, or excuse me, I was not scared. I was a little nervous. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I was not scared of the surgery, just because I did do my research on that particular doctor. And then from going in to see him to the surgery, like, I was very satisfied with him. And I knew that he had her, she was in good hands. I will say that. Yeah, she doesn't snore, y'all. I'm like, wow, her snoring would be super loud. And he did say that she will have a very nasally sounding to her, to her. So she will sound like, you know, like this when she gets older and she starts to speak well, because of those adenoids are removed. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. You know, that doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, that doesn't bother me. She can sound as nasally as ever. I'm good. As long as I know that she is breathing through the night. And that's the biggest thing there. Yeah, so anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. That's it. Sorry. That is her update. I hope you enjoyed it, and that is it. Boom shakalaka party, people. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and we'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye. Bye, y'all.